rock and roll, live the dream. Super excited.
I got my young friend next to me, okay? And she has something kind of blew me away yesterday of what she does, what she did, and her explanation of what's going on. Go ahead, young lady.
I was explaining that I learned about the PCR test in school.
PTR.
PCR, and I did it a few times. I learned how it worked, and I was explaining to Arnold. It works that the rapid. I don't know what the rapid test is, but that people trusted the PCR test to
That's
be.
the Prager test, right?
I don't know.
This is Prager, I think.
I don't know that. I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah.
But the PCR test is it's just a PCR test, which is always functions the same way.
Which is for anybody who has the virus, right?
Well, they do it. They can do it for anything. They can do it actually for detective work, for identifying a certain person's DNA on something. They can use the PCR test for pretty much anything, identifying a very small amount of some very specific molecule in any sample. So what they do with the COVID PCR test is they take a bit of the COVID virus, whatever that is, and then they have a test that they do. So they take a sample and they look for that sample, that specific. It's like a matching system. There's an example of the COVID, say the COVID virus, and then there's a sample, and there's a amplification that's done to amplify and look for any of that, whatever's being looked for in the sample. I did it. I told him I don't really remember how it works, but I remember doing it in school where to see usually it was blood sample. PCR test COVID is a saliva or snot sample, but you would look and you had to do it a few times, amplify it, then you'd amplify it again, then you'd amplify it again, and maybe again and again, and at that point you'd see if anything showed up.
Is it COVID virus, or is what? You have 380 trillion viruses. How do you know which is COVID?
It's because it's looking for a specific molecule. So
It's a molecule.
Yeah, so it's
That's in our body.
well, it's on a test. So there's a little sample that you take, and then there's a kind of a pre-made, like a replicated sample that is what you're looking for. So you take your sample and you take what you're looking for, and you have this physical copy of what you're looking for, and then you kind of take your sample and you put it in, see if it matches like what the PCR, what you're looking for. Then you do an amplification, and then you see if there's any matches. Then you do a few amplifications, see if there are any matches. Basically what it's doing is, I think so, there's what you're looking for, and it replicates whatever you're looking for in your sample until you get enough of what you're looking for in that sample in order to identify it. It's a way of doing things. But what I was saying to Arnold was that it's based on a specific molecule that's being looked for, and the specific molecule has to be known, and it has to be there in the PCR test. So I was basically just saying that to Arnold, and that whatever the specific virus is, the PCR test is what people, for that reason, think of as pretty accurate. But then Arnold has a deeper wisdom on the matter about viruses and how they're actually for our own benefit. So it's kind of like taking a sample of your symbiotic friend living within you and looking for that sample, isn't it, Arnold?
What it is, in my opinion, is there to our benefit. The viruses are there. We have 380 trillion viruses, and corona is one of them, and they're trying to duplicate our virus, which is our defense mechanism, which is our friend, and they're saying if you have your friend in your body that's acting according to their standards, which is sickness, and my standards, it's a friend. So that's my feeling. Is that right?
That sounds cool.
That sounds right.
That sounds cool.
So I'm saying to you that if you're sick, say thank you. If you're sick with a virus, it's doing its job to protect you, not to harm you. The thing that I really you have to understand is when a virus is on full-scale military alert, there's too much acid waste in your system.
You know,
Good.
there's something I was just listening to about January, the month of January, 2022, that it's a number 7 month. Everything adds up to 7. And what that means is you don't find 7 in nature usually. You see all the other numbers in nature, but 7 refers to the colors and the scales, like musical scales, and also the colors of the rainbow. So it's kind of a beyond the physical level. And the message that the person was saying about this month is that it's a month where we need our rest. And rest is a time when new reflections can come and when you can find out and solidify why you're doing things, not just at the physical level, but what's really behind what you're doing. And it's kind of also considered the magic number 7. So anyway, that's kind of fun because if you get COVID this month, you know your body loves you so much, it's time for the rest.
That's right. And rest means rest. That means all these restaurants should be closed. Not allowing any diners to eat inside because the food they're eating is contrary to your well-being. That's my opinion. Bananas, fruit, no energy and digestion allows the body to heal itself. Anything else? Did we explain it? No, kind of.
We didn't explain anything.
This is my opinion. Because I eat mostly fruit, and because my body has no energy on digestion, my body's at peace with itself. Lots of love, boom, boom, boom. Time to go. We gotta go to work. Pizza today.
Bye.